So we are continuing with our rebrand of failure, but I wanted to kind of take the segue from the last class period and everything and talk about this second time that I kind of got punched in the face to where I had to kind of figure things out. So the real message is really talking about creating something that's sustainable. I know I kind of coined this fun little thing of our sketchbook, calling it the Sam, right? But I really wanted to explain to you why these three things that I have there for you. Like one, the sustainability thing. Why I really wanted to hit home for you. So first off, I wrote a little story about our sketchbook itself, like just kind of talking about the Sam, right? So so I know, like I'm a little bit dorky. Like I like dad jokes. I like to really kind of dig into things, use double entendre, a lot of things like that. But there's intentionality behind it. The reason I do these things is because, as dorky as it may seem at times and everything, it's going to end up sticking with you, and then you're going to go, oh, there is a reason that Tom tells us this stuff because there's intention behind it. So so meet Sam, our sketchbook, right? Meet Sam. Sam has lost hope. Sam needs a new way, a rebirth. Sam is given three gifts. These three gifts will afford them three abilities. Sam is given a container to hold their tools. They're given more and more tools, but it seems that the container continues to hold everything. So think of this as like a bag of holding. Like you can just keep on putting back in. But that's just a concept of it, right? So it could be a physical thing like your backpack, but more importantly, like think of it as your own mind or your own brain, right? To where your your brain, all the different teachers, Alicia giving you English, Karen giving you computer skills and even having you do yoga, and Mary talking about history, and Jeff talking about science. Like all of us are going to be giving you tools in different ways that you can start to pack in there. And the goal is to take this stuff and utilize it for yourself. Figure your own pathway to success. And with that container, right? The container provides sustainability, right? uh, Sam is given supportive scaffolding. Uh, this wording is very important because it is actually teacher language, right? Supports is something that we do here at Renaissance on a regular basis, but more importantly, it is definitely something that we're going to be incorporating into our school because we've been all going to training about a multi-tiered support system, which MTSS, it also will be referred to as RTI, or response to intervention. But those interventions are what our supports are what we're actually creating in the school to really help you out, to meet you where you're at and help you on your educational goals, right? So the other term, scaffolding, like scaffolding is something we all do as teachers as well. We create kind of levels of our lessons and layer it in, so we can kind of bring you from one step to other, much like scaffolding is on the side of a building. We do it educationally. We're doing our scaffolding to help you kind of get through it, and that's why I say they are able to navigate everywhere they want to go. The supports and scaffolding provide them attainability. So with the supports and the scaffolding, we are able to get you to where you need to go, to where you want to go, so you can actually attain what you want to achieve, right? So the third thing, Sam is given a schedule. They are taught how to process commitments on a daily basis. They are introduced to the concept of time management, right? So this is that idea of like not just giving you the schedule, but kind of holding you accountable for it as well. So like this is everything. It's not just your school schedule, right? Like maybe even it's commitments on the weekend, right? Like maybe, hey, maybe you have to watch your little sister at from 2 to 5 on Saturday. Like everybody has commitments, and it is important to schedule all that out so you know how you can manage your time. Like, even if you are watching your siblings, maybe you can actually use that time to work on something else while you're watching your siblings. Like, you don't have to just be staring at them the whole time doing nothing else. You can manage your time in such a way that you can do a lot of different things, right? So all that time management, they are provided maintainability, right? So those three gifts translates to the three abilities of Sam, right? And and as dorky as it all sounds, I was very intentional about like why I wanted you to use your sketchbook in such a way to really start to unpack things. Like I said, like you don't have to just be sketching stuff for art class. Maybe you are writing a creative story for Alicia and you want to put some notes in there and you don't have a notebook that you keep with you at all times. Use the SAM. Please use the SAM, right? Once you fill it up, you can get a new one, right? So let's cycle back. The lesson today that I'm really kind of digging into is this kind of idea of sustainability, right? So I have created this art business now. I get forced out the Navy. I've created this little art business, but the problem is like I'm getting commissions here and there. Like I got the one commission. I even got to create a book to where I did the illustrations for this book. I created my own font. Like I created a font for them. Uh, I designed kind of like a banner. Uh, I even made their world map, like the world map that you see here in this book. So right here, like the individual that commissioned me, he had kind of the idea of it. I ended up drawing this map on four 18 by 24 sheets, and it's a huge map up on my wall and everything. Actually, I'll take a picture of it and upload it just so you can see it. But it's it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I did a lot of different little commissions and everything. But the only problem is doing all this takes time, and it wasn't really sustainable. Like me being a single dad with three kids, it was tough. It was very tough. So I had to find another way, right? So so I ended up going back to school, using my post 9/11 GI Bill to actually go back to school. And I really wanted to lean on art, so I found an art program. Well, not really an art program, but a design program called Industrial Design. It's technically product design. So designing products, you learn a lot of cool stuff. You learn about CAD. You learn a lot of. I did really well. I really pushed through the curriculum quickly. I graduated in 2 years and 1 quarter after that. Uh, I flew through the curriculum. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And then I thought, now that I'm graduated, everything will be cool, hunky dory. It's all going to be great. But you remember the video that I showed you with where Kevin Hart is interviewing John Cena, and he even said like, I had my degree, everything's great. I was getting doors slammed in my face too. So I was just like John. I was getting those doors slammed in my face, and it could have been a lot of things. It could have been ageism. It could have been a lot of things. I mean, they can't tell you that, but it's the reality. I'm in my I'm in my early 40s at the time, trying to get like an entry level design job, and it wasn't feasible because uh, I had I had too much emotional baggage, I guess would be the best way to put it. That I had an opinion about things, and I think they wanted me more moldable coming in the door, right? So I had to figure out a different route to go. So I actually was able to get a job with Olympic College, and I taught in the technical design department. Now the only problem is when you are initial employee for a community college and everything, it's not sustainable either because you don't get that many classes. Like I was teaching one, maybe two classes a term, and I was having to pick up a secondary job of uh, doing like working in their 3D print lab, and I was actually kind of creating the 3D print lab, less working in it, and and also I'm still trying to maintain my own like illustration business on the side. So like I was doing a lot of things, and it wasn't sustainable because I was putting in way more work than I was getting paid for. So it was very frustrating. So I ended up reaching back out to my college, the Art Institute of Seattle, and I was able to get a job there working in enrollment, and it was great. Like I loved what I was doing because I was getting to talk to people, and and really be able to dig in and help them on their personal journey back into art and design. Right. Well, lo and behold, behind closed doors, the corporate entity that was over us was not being very ethical about the things that they were doing, and they were effectively pilfering off a lot of money. They were doing a lot of bad things at a lot of different art institutes, not ours in particular, but at a lot of different ones, which was ending up getting a lot of the schools closed down, and ultimately the uh, the cannibalization of what was happening with the creatives all over our country. It was creating a sustainability problem to where they had they had enrolled so many students that were not successful that it basically gave a bad name to the Art Institute, and ultimately we got closed down March 8th, 2019, and it was very frustrating. And the writing was a little bit on the walls. Like we knew what was happening, but it's still you want to believe in your heart of hearts that you can keep the doors open, and we fought tooth and nail to keep the doors open. And it's just it's a drop in your heart when you have your director come into a room, and it's filled with 10 people and he himself, and he's like, we're all being let go, we're all fired, we can't keep the doors open, it's done. And so it's tough, but again, that whole thing of pick yourself up, got to pick myself up again. I had to figure stuff out, right? So like I said, we kind of knew the writing was on the walls, and I had talked to faculty members and everything, and one of them had talked about going back into public education, and public education. I was like, yeah, sure, I was a substitute teacher back when I was in my early 20s and everything. I was like, I'd look into it again. So I did. I did end up applying at both Central Kitsap School District and South Kitsap School District, and I got picked up as an emergency guest teacher. So I was able to start substitute teaching again, and then in this pathway of substitute teaching, I ended up finding out about a career in technical education. I became a certified CTE teacher, and that's actually what places me here in front of you today. Like, that is why I am now CTE STEAM teacher for you all, to where I am your art teacher, and I'm happy. I'm definitely happy. I want to be here until I retire. Like, this is only my second year, and I'm going to be here at least 20, as long as they let me keep these doors open to actually keep on creating art with you all here in this room. Like, I am going to be here to stay, right? So I have finally found something sustainable, and I am head over heels happy for it, because I get to do something that I'm passionate about, and it shines through, and it helps you all because you know that I'm passionate about it. So I'm only going to give you the best as we go through these lessons together and everything. So this whole sustainability piece of like what I'm trying to teach to you in this class. As far as being sustainable, a lot of times we are limited by the resources that we have when we try to create things and everything. So this idea of branding or rebranding or creating a brand itself like that, like rebranding failure, but just creating a brand in general, right? So maybe you want to create a website and maybe you want to start putting your name down and kind of creating that name and everything, but you just don't have the capital to do it, right? um, I wanted to go through the process of actually being able to create a brand with no money at all. So I literally was able to do that. I So using my a free Wix site like editor, I actually went through and took my artwork and created a whole full-on website using the free creator, mind you. But I went through and I basically generated and built my brand. And this is actually something that I presented during my time at the Art Institute when I was actually getting my industrial design degree. This was part of my grad project to show that I created a full on brand with no money at all. Like and in building that out and everything, I wanted to really dig in and do what's called SEO or search engine optimization, right? And I wanted to continue to be able to kind of create that digital footprint without using money, right? so so the best way to do that is you start just tying it to your social media and you find everything that's a free resource that you can actually tie it to, right? So I linked it to my Facebook, to my Instagram, to my LinkedIn, to my Behance, to my ArtStation, to my DeviantArt, and that's all kind of like art stuff, right? But I also even found like an industrial design site, my Chloroflot. I created a YouTube channel. I created a blogger, and in all this stuff that I was finding to be able to link to it and everything, I ended up finding this cool thing to where um, there is a site called Threadless.com to where you can actually make your own artist shop. And and when I say that you can make your own artist shop, it's kind of cool because what you can do is you can just take your artwork and upload it to where when you upload this stuff, you can actually put it on t-shirts, you can put it on various things like it's it's literally crazy the amount of stuff that you can actually put it on. Like because you can even put it on zip bags. You can put it on books. Like, and you can even put it on the towels. Like, so those towels that are hanging up in the room that you see there and everything. Those also are done with Threadless.com. And the thing is, I mean, you don't have to hold that overhead. Like, you don't have to hold the material for it because Threadless has all that stuff to where you just upload your artwork and then they print it on stuff and then it gets sent out to whoever wants to purchase it, and you don't have to pay for the cost of making it or doing any of that. Threadless does it all, and then you just get a very small kickback, right? So you're even creating like branding on actual physical objects without having to do anything at all. Like, you just have to provide the artwork. So you can literally do various things to where all it is just the effort of you creating the art, and then you don't have to physically do anything to make that creation. It's not like an Etsy where Etsy, you're making the physical product, you're putting it on your digital storefront, you're having to package, ship it, and everything. This, you do nothing at all. You just create the art, and then now you actually have a storefront from just creating art. So that's kind of a cool little sustainable piece of something that you can actually do as well. But with that, like doing all those ties in and everything, I've literally had people now reach out to me And this was the kind of coolest thing. This is kind of how it came back full circle and everything. But I've literally had people just find my website and reach out to me to ask me to do stuff, to where during the pandemic, um, a Facebook friend of mine reached out to me and said, "Do you do comic books?" And I was like, "I can. Like, I have actually designed sheets and stuff like that. I know how to do it and everything. I've never really done it, but I was asked to do a few pages in this, and literally I helped them so they could actually do their publication and get it to print and everything. So I did a few pages in this, and I've been published in novels. I'm going to be publishing another book that's coming out in Canada. I've been published in this. I even have an IMDb page because I was able to do part of a flip frame of a tribute to Bill Plimpton. So I mean, I've, because of my art and because of just kind of this idea of trying to put myself out there, like, I've been able to do a lot of cool stuff, and you can get there too. That's the crazy thing. So so just that idea of sustainability, like, you can literally, if you put the work in, like, you don't have to drop a cent. You can literally just put the time in. That's why time is such a rich commodity, because if you're willing to put the time and the effort in, you don't necessarily have to use money to do it, right? uh, and uh, and so I want you to continue to work on this concept of rebranding failure, right? But if you want to just kind of spark your creativity, first of all, definitely look at the current SAM prompt that's there. Maybe use some of the prompt books and everything, and utilize that SAM. Utilize that SAM in such a way that you're trying to create some sustainability, attainability, and maintainability for yourself, but also start to try to think about that rebrand of failure so we can get some iterations through and everything. But with all that, have a lovely class period and create.